There was a woman in her late 60s who didn't notice the change at first. It wasn't pain. It wasn't injury. Just something small. She stopped bending down as often, stopped reaching for things on the floor, started avoiding certain movements without realizing it. At first, it felt like a choice, just being careful. But over time, those movements became harder, less natural. And one day, she realized something surprising. It wasn't that she couldn't move the way she used to. It was that she had slowly stopped doing the movements that kept her able to do it. The body is designed for a wide range of movement, bending, reaching, twai. These actions are part of everyday life, and when performed regularly, they're responsive, capable, calm, but over time, something begins. But as people get older, not suddenly, not dramatically, but gradually. So gradually that most people don't even know a person may choose to sit instead of squat, to avoid retching and move more carefully. At first, these choices are practical, even they feel responsive like taking bet. And in many ways, that's exactly what it see. But over time, they begin to change how the quietly, subtly, when certain movements are no longer used, the body adapts, it always does. Flexibility decreases, range of motion becomes limited, and movements that were once easy start to feel more difficult, a little tighter, a little slower. And this is where many people begin to notice the difference. The challenge is that there is no clear warning sign, no moment with no sharp pain, no obvious injury, just a slow reduction in how the body moves. Until one day, you notice it. Bending feels harder, reaching feels uncomfortable, and you pause just for a second before doing something that used to feel automatic. That small pause is often the first real sign. And from there, you begin to avoid those movements even more, which leads to further limitation. A quiet cycle begins. Less movement leads to less ability leads to less movement. And over time, this cycle slowly reduces mobility, not all at once, but little by little, day after day. The woman who noticed she was moving less didn't think much of it at first. She believed she was simply being careful, avoiding unnecessary strain, doing what she thought was the right thing. But over time, something began to feel different. But one day, she dropped something on the floor, and instead of picking it up easily, she hesitated, just for a moment. But that moment felt unfamiliar. That moment stayed with her because it didn't feel like her. She realized that she had been avoiding these movements for some time, without even thinking about it. It had become a habit, a quiet, unnoticed pattern. So, she decided to change something small. Not everything, just something simple. She began to reintroduce those movements into her day. Gently, carefully, without pressure. She started bending down more often, reaching, moving through a fuller range of motion, not forcing it, just letting her body move again. At first, it felt uncomfortable, not painful, but unfamiliar, like using something that had been unused for a long time. Her body had become used to smaller movements, safer movements, but also more limited ones. Still, she kept going, day after day, without rushing, without expecting immediate results. And slowly, something began to change, almost too subtle to notice at first. Her movements felt easier, more natural, smoother. She no longer hesitated. And this is where the shift became clear. And what she realized was simple. Her body had not lost the ability to move. It had simply adapted to how she had been using it. And when she changed that, her body responded quietly, reliably, just as it was designed to do. Loss of everyday movement is one of the most overlooked aspects of aging because it does not feel like a problem at first. It feels like caution, like adjustment, like being careful. But over time, it can lead to significant changes that are easy to ignore until they begin to affect daily life. Reduced flexibility, limited mobility, and a body that feels less capable, less willing to move. And this is where many people begin to notice the difference. This can affect daily life in subtle ways. Not dramatic, not sudden, but persistent. Simple tasks become more difficult. Bending, reaching, even turning may require more effort, more thought, more hesitation. And as these tasks become harder, people begin to avoid them, which reinforces the problem again and again. The body becomes less adaptable, less responsive, and more restricted, like something that is slowly being used less and offering less in return. This is not just about comfort, it is about function. The ability to move freely is closely tied to independence, to confidence, to everyday quality of life. And when that ability is reduced, it affects more than just movement. It affects choices, behavior, even how a person feels about their own body. But the important thing to understand is this. Much of this decline is not sudden. It is gradual. And because of that, it often goes unnoticed. But over time, something changes, and because it is gradual, it can often be addressed if it is recognized early enough, if attention is brought back to how the body is being used each day. Maintaining mobility does not require complex routines. It does not require intense workouts or long hours of exercise. It begins with using the body fully in simple, everyday ways, the way it was meant to move, bending down, reaching up, moving through a full range of motion. These actions may seem basic, almost too simple, but they are essential, more powerful than they appear. They keep the joints flexible, the muscles engaged, and the body responsive, ready for movement. And this is where many people begin to notice the difference. Incorporating these movements into daily life can make a real difference, not occasionally, but consistently. Picking things up from the floor, stretching gently, reaching instead of avoiding, taking small opportunities to move more fully. These are not exercises. They are natural movements, and when performed regularly, they help maintain the body's ability to move quietly, effectively. The key is consistency, not intensity, not perfection. Using the body in a variety of ways on a regular basis. Because the body adapts to what it does, always. And when it continues to move fully, it maintains its ability to do so without resistance, without strain. Over time, this leads to better mobility, greater ease of movement, and a body that feels more capable, more dependable, and perhaps most importantly, more free. Movement is not just about exercise. It is about how we use our bodies every day. The small actions, the repeated habits, the choices we make without thinking, these are the things that shape how the body functions over time, quietly, consistently. But over time, something changes. The loss of movement is not always obvious. It happens quietly, through avoidance, through convenience, through small decisions. Repeat it again and again until they become the new normal. And often, we only notice it when something feels different. Less easy, less natural, but the same is true in reverse. Small actions can restore movement, rebuild flexibility, and improve how the body feels, step by step, without pressure, without urgency. The story of losing movement is common, but so is the story of regaining it, because the body is adaptable, responsive, capable of change at any age. And this is where quiet confidence begins to return. What matters is how we choose to use it, each day, in small, consistent ways. Because in the end, the way you move each day determines how freely you can move tomorrow. Not someday, but tomorrow. And sometimes, the simplest movements are the ones that matter most.